Party versus Room.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. How are you?
Things. We're really good.
I'm kind of tempted to just be quiet to make everybody think that you can't hear me.
A smidge loud. Yeah.
Anyway, we have a special guest with us. Special guest, please introduce yourself.
Am I the special guest?
You're the special
No.
guest.
Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Keith John Stack. How's it going? I'm excited about the monkey ball.
What do you do, Mr. John Stack?
I do everything. Everything you could imagine. I don't know. I draw cartoons sometimes. That's probably what people know me for. I play a lot of video games. I sit at my computer frequently. I've got a cat in my lap right now.
Ooh,
He's just like me for real.
jealous.
Yeah.
To quote the Dank on the Twitch, he makes a hot lesbian comic.
That's true.
Oh, you're the lesbian comic guy.
That's me.
Chat is now understanding. Beautiful.
It's a very good comic.
Oh, thank you.
Keith, you're one of the few people I follow on Twitter that make me think, you know, this is probably worth keeping.
Oh, that's quite an honor to hear.
If you remember back when Banana Mania was first coming out, and there were all those little 4-panel comics that were being posted on the social media, that was this guy.
That was me.
This guy did it.
And for some reason, he follows what we do, so we asked him if he wanted to hang out.
And
So
I
we're
was
here.
honored.
Well, thank you. Okay, so what we're doing, I already forgot if I said it pre or post bumper, so just one more time. We're going through Super Monkey Ball 2's stages and Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Ted and I are racing. I think we are avoiding the jump button, if anyone's curious, but I may liberally use it because I'm a disgusting human being if I get stuck on a stage too long. Because as you can see, I haven't finished all the stages. So this is a truly a clash of the titans. Does someone want to... Wait.
You should both be on the simple first. Yeah.
Simple, okay.
I can count you down.
Thank you.
Yeah. So on go, counting down from 3. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Also
There's
worth
another
pointing out,
screen.
we'll probably have a little delay between Ted and myself on screen, but we are synced in real time.
Yeah. So ignore the fact we're going to call time like usual. It'll be a little bit desynced. Chris already has a commanding lead, clearly. We do have a $5 donation to open up from Ian Bow, who says, has there ever been a video game ending that angered you? My examples are Crash 4's 106% ending, which ends so abruptly that it feels like a slap at the face, and Dragon Quest IX's ending, which, similarly, ends in such a quick and insulting way that it turned me away from Dragon Quest. Chris, let's start with you. Video game endings you don't like that make you angry.
Oh, someone else go first. My brain isn't good at accessing
Okay.
things quickly.
Ted, you go first.
Ted, you
Megami
go.
Tensei 4 Apocalypse. SMT4 is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Apocalypse is poopy doo-doo garbage. One of the worst final dungeons in RPG history. And the game ends, but then Steven is not Steven likes movies, but the character Steven is just like, actually, you need to do this. And then you'd have to play for another 20 hours, and they ruin the plot of the previous game, and it's just bad. Yeah. So that's the first one I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. Perfect. Keith, do you have any specific examples of game endings that may have angered you?
Oh, goodness. I think Vector Man 2 made me angry. Because it's a very, lackluster ending. Very anticlimactic, I guess. Vector Man, is it okay to spoil the ending of
Vector Man's
2?
old enough that I think you can spoil that.
I gotta mute. Hang on, I don't want to hear it.
He jumps on some rocks, and then the credits play.
So it's a prequel to Death Stranding. I got it.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's a straight type game.
It says Steven says either the game I want to be turned down a bit or raise Discord a bit.
Ooh, I can do that.
Hold on. Do you want me to pause so you have a little bit of time? Oh, I died. Do it now. Do it now.
Don't worry, I've already done it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
This needs to be a fair fight, even though you're using the jump button like a big cheater.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
fairly.
think that's perfect. Yeah.
I've come up with an answer for the game ending, by the way.
Okay, well, Stefan's gonna go first because you took too long.
Well, no, I can't think of any game ending. Like I can think of like there's a bunch of like movies and shows and comic endings I can think of that happen, but games I'm like stumped on because maybe it's because it's like I guess with games it's I think of like the sum of its whole. So if there's like I mean I can think of like, oh yeah, like Generations, Sonic Generations is a pretty bad ending, but it's like I don't know if it's like that's like, oh, the worst thing ever. It's just kind of like, oh, it's a game I really like that has a bad ending. That's bad.
Chris, I'm going to cut you off again because we have a raid
from Derek.
Derek just popped in with a raid of 54 people popping in. Their hashtag is Fossil Fumble. So I'm curious what that means. Please let me know because I want to know. I need to know. If you folks are just joining us and you don't know what we're doing here today, this is day 3 of Charity versus Room, our annual fundraising event here at the Charity Room. This year we're raising money once again for the Diabetes Research Institute. You can type !donate in the chat, as I'm going to do right now, to find the link to donate, or you can click the donate link below. You can enter some of our raffles. For example, today we have a custom knitted Amogus plush. It does not have to be blue. It can be any color that you want. It is not knitted yet, but our very own Catherine is going to knit that for the winner in their desired color. That's $5. That ends today. We have a $20 event raffle for a Switch OLED. So if you want to enter for that, donate $20 and you can pick it in the little settings box. We have Bid Wars. We have different incentives. For example, we just unlocked our first incentive day, which is tomorrow, Monday. We have a bunch of really cool stuff going on, including burning us all alive in The Sims, a family feud where we're putting Team Brain Scratch commentaries versus Team Find the Computer Room. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we have Banjo-Kazooie versus Banjo-Tooie. Smoothies has to beat Banjo-Kazooie 100% before Ted can beat Banjo-Tooie at all. And he's probably going to because Tooie's very long. But we'll see. So that's our first incentive. If we get to 15, yeah, go ahead.
I left. I accidentally went back to the menu.
Yo, Ted.
Yo, let's go.
I'll keep it fair.
Oh wait, no. Oh no, I saved a replay. Never mind. Okay.
Okay, never mind. I'm back in.
I'm good. We're good. All right.
Beautiful. And you can vote on who dies first, as Steven just posted in the chat. If you type in !Firebox, you can vote in the straw poll to decide who dies and who lives the longest, if you want to do that.
Chat reminded me of another ending that's bad. Ace Attorney 6 has one of the worst endings ever. It is absolute trash, garbage, awful. I can't explain why because spoilers, but it's pretty damn bad. Anyway,
and also since we raised 7,000 and locked that incentive day, our next goal is to raise $15,000 by the end of next Sunday, which will give us the second incentive day, which will then give us Linky's Sonic Crowd Control bid war, which after that's unlocked, then that bid war will be unlocked where you can vote for whether he plays Sonic Mania Crowd Control or Sonic Heroes Crowd Control. Then following that will be the Sonic 06 relay race between me, John, Experiment against Chris, Kevin, and Steven. And they're going to be on the PS3 version and we're on the 360 version. And then after that is a secret event that we're not going to reveal until we reach 15K. And I think you're really going to want that because it's going to be a fun thing.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So Ryan did ask in chat. So Ryan, starting next Friday, that's the second weekend of the event. It's a 2-weekend event. The first event on Friday, August 12th, is a race between Ryan and Cadicarus in the Crash and Sane trilogy, and you can vote with your wallet on which game they're going to play. So currently, Crash 3 is in the lead with $542 and change. Crash 2 is not far behind, only about $50 behind, and Crash 1 is still in the game. It's at $335 and change. So it's still anybody's game as far as that goes. If you want a specific Crash game to be played, if you want them to suffer and want them to play Crash 1, you better donate. If you want them to play Crash 3, you should still. You better donate.
That will be closed at the end of Monday. So after the Banjo-Kazooie 2E race, that'll be when the Crash bid war closes. So you have until then to put your money into that.
We must have a very kind audience because I was expecting Crash 1 to blow that out.
Especially if we made them do the new Stormy Ascent level.
Oh, God.
Ooh, that would have been fun. Now, Chris, you were going to talk about an ending. I'm going to do it before you do that. I have one more thing I'm going to cut you off with. We have a $100 donation from Atomic Teal, who says,
Ooh.
"Hi guys, I missed most of the charity stream because of Evo, and I wanted to know something. Why wasn't this Charity versus Room game? Why was this not on the Evo schedule? I heard it's a great fighting game, but I also heard that there are some balancing issues. Waiting for the next patch to nerf Some Call Me Johnny." Thank you so much. There's a fun story with that. We had this date first, and then Evo announced theirs, so that was kind of a oops. Yeah, so thank you for coming from Evo. Hopefully you had
Thank
fun
you.
watching fighting games.
Ted's hitboxes are too outrageous anyway. He would have got banned. It's the hair. I don't know what's up with that.
Listen,
Beautiful.
all right, that means my hurt boxes are big too. All right, jeez.
You're telling me,
Everyone
man.
knows I'm the slowest character in the game.
You
Okay?
hurt my feelings boxes. So, Chris, what was the game you were going to talk about with
Very
annoying ending?
very relatable common game here. Digimon World 3 starts out as a Pokemon-esque, like, go around to different, like, servers in an MMO kind of thing and get badges. And then it becomes about a cyber terrorist group taking over the world, air quote, through the MMO. I don't know, it's weird. In the European and Japanese versions, once you beat the big, scary final boss Digimon, you go to the post-game, where you resume that Pokemon quest and you have a whole bunch of new stuff to do. In the North American version, that's not there. The game just puts you back to before the final boss, which
Wait, what?
is one of my least favorite things in any video game like that. So that's my least favorite video game ending, because we got robbed.
Wait,
that's
so
just-
there's just
that's
content
absurd.
cut from the North American version?
Basically, or it's just inaccessible. I don't know what happened there.
Was it like released in the States before the other territories and like they didn't finish it yet?
Let me look that up.
Yeah, double check me on that. In Europe, it came out in 2003, because in Europe it's called Digimon World 2003, but I want to say we in Japan got it at around the same time in 2002?
We got it. We did get it first, actually. We got it June 5th, 2002. Japan got it on July 4th, 2002, and then November 29th for Europe.
So,
Okay.
yeah, that doesn't, like, it's a month, but that feels like not enough time for them to add that kind of content. That more just seems like a shipping and marketing kind of difference.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's such a curious one.
Weird.
It's so weird.
I've, like, looked up LinkedIn profiles of people who worked on the game to try and ask and figure that out for the people, but then I'm like, this is a weird thing to just cold call, ask actual business people, so maybe I shouldn't.
Hey, David Business, can you tell me why in Digimon World 3?
I was wondering, in the original 2003 Digimon... I can't be that guy. I've seen that guy too many times to be that guy. But god damn it, I want to know!
Oh, that's incredible. So someone says one of the reasons was that the next series was coming out, so they may have rushed it out in the U.S. Maybe I'm not sure if that's what that's for.
But it was done. It was only a month before Japan. It's not like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
It must have just been some weird PS1 programming thing or something where the American localization was just like, shut out the end of the game. I don't know. We don't
Yeah.
have time.
Yeah, Harpy Player Joe says that Digimon Frontiers came out that year for us, and they were pushing the game to come out in time with that game, or with the show, or whatever they might mean on that. I don't know what that means. How's Monkey Ball going?
I'm midway. I'm on 3-3.
What?
Yeah, I saw Ted just fly by you at one point, and I didn't want to worry you.
You want to
but
say anything?
Yeah.
I don't have the stream up to save bandwidth. I only have chat up, so I don't actually know how Chris is doing at the
Chris is
moment.
dying on fire stage. He's on 2-9.
No, I'm like so far ahead of Ted right now. I'm actually on like stage 5.
Oh shit. Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Did you? Oh damn. How'd you get past World 4? That world sucks.
I skipped it.
Oh wow.
What controllers are you folks using?
Switch Pro controller. I'm playing the Switch version.
That's a good call, actually. I'm on PS5. So in theory, I should be doing better with the
Yeah,
SSD.
wait. Chris, you have the faster load times. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Look. Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. I don't know.
I do want the answer. Give it to me now.
Sir, yes, sir, Mr. the Golden Bolt.
You're damn right. We do have a $5.92 donation from Juan Delgado that just popped up. We've talked about gaming backlogs before, but I want to know, what's your watching backlog? I finished watching Owl House a couple of weeks ago, and now that my brother has a Crunchyroll account, I want to see the Ruby Ice Queendom and Spy Cross Family. So-
Literally all of the Marvel shows. I haven't watched a single one yet, despite being a pretty big Marvel fan. So like I need to to get on that at some point.
If
I
it
haven't
helps.
watched.
You don't want to hear my watching backlog. It is too much. It is basically just be like a Wikipedia page list of here's all of this stuff, here's all of this stuff, this things. It's like, yeah, it's just something that I just kind of like, if whatever my brain is be like, I want to watch this thing, and it's like eventually it's a thing of like, because what sucks about watch lists is that when you put it on a thing like that, it always feels like an obligation that you're going through, and it's like you don't want it to be an obligation. You'd be like, oh, I'm in the mood to watch this, and then you eventually do it. It's just that eventually will be a long time.
Keith, do you consume media?
I try not to. I guess echoing that sentiment, I try not to like create backlogs of anything for myself because then just feels like work.
Oh my god.
Fair.
That's a very smart strategy that I think.
YouTube and podcasts
fail
have
at.
kind of ruined normal like TV and movies for me. Because
Yeah.
now those are like things I have to put effort into watching, which goes against the entire like idea of putting on the TV and not thinking for a while. So
Yeah.
Like
I feel that.
what helps with podcasts is that you can pod like stuff that you only need to listen to is you can do multiple things with it. Like literally when I'm at work, I like putting on like either like new podcasts that I haven't listened to or like old podcasts that like I have listened to them, re-listening that because I can just put on my phone, put my headphones in, just do my work, and it's like or like if I'm driving around, if I'm like driving somewhere, I can those are easier because even though they're normally longer, you can do them while doing other things. While it's like I can't like work while I'm like watching a movie or reading a book or playing a game. Like sometimes I can play if I'm a game. It's like I want it to be a game that's like. You can like Monkey Ball is a good example of I can listen to a podcast while I'm playing Monkey Ball because that's one I don't have to put all my attention to. I just casually playing through the level, even like for the first time. Like that's what I did.
Shout
That
out
used to
to
be my
Power.
go-to like commute exercise, just like playing Switch while listening to a podcast to kill the time.
Yeah, it's a good Zen kind of vibe. That was me with Xenoblade the last couple weeks. I finally wanted to finish Xenoblade 1 because I kept putting it off because I don't have time. And so I finally finished it, and a lot of that week was me putting off doing more important work by playing Xenoblade and listening to podcasts.
how long did Xenoblade 1 take you to finish when you finally finished it?
My exact time, I forget. I did most of the game. Like I did a lot of the side quests by the end because I just kind of was like, yeah, fuck it. There are some that run out if you don't do them in time, so I'm gonna do all those. And then I realized I did all of them. So I think I want to say I stopped playing around like the 65-hour mark, and I had done essentially everything besides the super bosses.
Wow. Okay.
It's
that's
not
a
it's
lot
not as long as
faster.
people. Yeah, it's not as long as people think it is, especially on Switch. It's a lot shorter. And then I even the Future Connected expansion that they put into the Definitive Edition, everyone said, "Oh, that's a 12 to 20-hour game." I beat it in like 6. I 100%ed it in like 7. Like I did everything before I got to the boss, and it was like 6.5.
All
That's
right,
not
so
so
what
bad.
we've heard is Xenoblade 1 race next year for
Oh God.
Charity versus Room 2. Chris versus Kevin versus himself.
Well, no. Sabrina.
Yeah, you gotta put
Oh,
Sabrina.
Sabrina. Yeah.
Have Sabrina do it.
So
Yeah.
there she is in chat. Immediately popped up.
She's like, wait, let me do it.
Sabrina be like, I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah. Yeah, and Chimbus pointed out that Xenoblade 2 was like twice as long as how long it took them to 100% Xenoblade 1 versus 2. 2 is too long for its own good. That's one of the big problems 2 has. That's why I'm glad 3 is apparently only actually like a 50-hour game.
Oh, really?
Like everyone says it's like 100 plus, but again, I think people just play these games too slowly. Like, and that's cool if you do that, but like I do a lot of the side quests, I do most of the content in these games, and I'm still done with them pretty quick. I don't know what everyone else is doing.
I know that Xenoblade 2 also has like a gacha system, so
Yeah.
RNG might determine because like you can unlock there's a cameo by the Xenoblade Xenosaga
Yeah.
MC, right?
Yeah,
But
Cosmos.
apparently she's like the rarest character in the game.
I think it's like a 0.6% chance, even if you have like a legendary pull or whatever. It's something stupid like that. But the thing is, like, you don't need any of that to like actually like beat the game. It's just that people get very invested in gacha mechanics in a game that doesn't have like pay to win. Like you can't pay for anything in that. You just play the game.
Apparently you can't save scum either, which makes me like actively angry that you can't save scum in a game with gotcha mechanics, but isn't actually like a
Yeah.
microtransaction game.
Yeah. It's that we were talking about this before the stream started. Like 2 suffers greatly from Monolith Soft being busy saving Nintendo, because like the whole time that they're working on 2, like before X is even finished, there's a huge chunk of the Xenoblade team at Monolith Soft that's just working on the world for Breath of the Wild, because Nintendo needed to get that done, and they just couldn't because they didn't know how to make open world games. So Monolith Soft comes in and saves the day, and then they have no art director on Xenoblade 2 because they're busy. All the art team is busy working on Breath of the Wild. So they start bringing in a bunch of manga artists to do some like freelance kind of work, and that's why the art style is all kind of like not unified at all into. And then after all the work that Monolith Soft did to essentially lead to the Switch being a success because Breath of the Wild came out, after all of that, they were like, hey, thanks so much for all your help with Breath of the Wild. Get Xenoblade 2 out by December. So, yeah.
What I'm hearing is
Yeah.
that JRPGs are more trouble than they're worth.
I mean, kinda.
Yeah,
Pretty
you know.
much. Oh my god, how did I not die? Yeah, so a lot of the times, yeah, it's such a weird genre to be into because, again, there's so many of these games where it's like watching a TV show where it's like, for so many of them, it's like, okay, yeah, the first 20 hours suck, but once you get past that point, you know, then it starts getting good. There's so many RPGs that people say are like that.
Yeah.
That's actually part of the reason why I'm not a big fan of Dragon Quest VIII, despite being one of the more, one of like the bigger Dragon Quest fans on the internet, is because that game actually has a fantastic first like 20 hours or so, which is why I think that game's so well received among people who even aren't Dragon Quest fans. But the problem is just that its first 20 hours are really good and the rest of the game is kind of middling. So, like, okay, yeah, it's got a good beginning, but then the rest of the game is fine. But I also realize that most gamers, like, don't finish games, so
Yeah.
they'll play, like, the first 20 hours of the game. It's like, oh, this game's great, and then get distracted and go play something else,
Yeah.
you know?
That's kind of what made a lot of the more recent like the PlayStation library very fascinating, because it's the first time that games have consistently had people like over 50% of players beating it.
Oh, wow.
At least as far as we've ever been able to track. Obviously, it's hard to track that kind of thing.
I
But,
remember one of the statistics about Heavy Rain was that like 75% of players beat it, which was crazy for a video game at that point. Like,
Yeah, that was a really good example of one. Spider-Man's the one I jumped to because that game sold like 25 million copies, and I think it's like a 60% finish rate,
wow.
which is just absurd.
Are people tracking that through like achievements?
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually through
Okay.
trophy data. Like one of my favorite ones I always like to point to was that in Assassin's Creed 2, way back in 2000, was that 2010? 09, okay.
Yeah.
Way back in 09, only 85 or 80% of the players of Assassin's Creed 2 got the first achievement, which is the achievement where you press all 4 buttons as a baby to move your legs, and then the game starts. It's literally the title screen, and only over 20% of players did not get that achievement.
So a bunch of people like didn't have internet on their
No,
on
it's
their
it's
console?
it's accounts that are connected to the internet that have loaded that game up
So they just loaded up the title screen and didn't.
and then just never played it.
Why?
Yeah, like I don't. That is the general audience for a lot of video games. Like, there's a lot of people that just buy a game and then either don't play it, or they could have been on the wrong account maybe, or whatever it might be. But yeah, that's always fun.
Always a good reminder that we're in a weird bubble of being overly into video games.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stefan.
Which is like, because most of the time, majority of the, like, there's a large majority that most people don't know about, like, people who only play sports games. And that's
Yeah.
it. I know because, like, a lot of people that I know personally, like, both in, like, family members and otherwise, it's like, yeah, they pretty much only play, like, 5 games, and if they get a new console, they'll just get it for those 5 specific games. And it's like, yeah, it just does that. And they're the games that people online, like, oh, like, there are the ones that be like, oh, yeah, because it's like the sports games or the shooter franchise games. And it's like, oh, those are other games that people don't actually care about that aren't that good, and it's like, oh no, they're successful for a reason. They have their very I would say niche, but they're clearly not niche. They're just in a different bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's always happens.
Yeah, I mean, like the average amount of games bought per consumer is going up now. Like people are getting more invested in games in the post-COVID era. But it's still only like 2 or 3. Most people only buy 2 or 3 games a year.
The one that gets me, and this is a pre-Metroid Dread world, because I think Metroid Dread has sold like almost 3 million, but growing up on gaming YouTube in the late 2000s and early 2010s, I would have thought Metroid was one of the most successful series ever. Just because everyone's like, oh my god, this is like the greatest thing since my son was born, and I hate my son, so it's pretty good.
Yeah,
and then I go and look at the actual...
I had too.
Yeah, and look at actual sales data. It's like, Metroid is one of Nintendo's worst-selling major series. I'm like, what? You
Yeah,
said Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it's Kirby has consistently been a better selling franchise than Metroid, and if you told a 2007 YouTuber that, they'd yell at you.
Yeah,
because Kirby's dumb and for babies.
It's even one of those, like, Chimbus popped in a chat again and pointed out Sly Cooper. Like, the Ghost of Tsushima outsold the entire Sly Cooper series.
The entire series? Wow.
Yeah, like Sly 1 did not sell well. They fudged the numbers afterwards. So what happened with Sly 1 was it got pretty good critical reception, and Sony itself liked the game. Like, the PlayStation Studios crew liked the game. So they essentially put it on Greatest Hits early, even though it hadn't sold well enough to get onto the Greatest Hits, like,
oh my god,
qualification. So it sold like 1 million copies, but it only sold like a few 100,000 copies. Like, I think it was like 200,000 copies in the U.S., which is still good, you know. But
that's not bad. Like,
yeah, it's not bad at all. But like, it's one of those where people nowadays put that in like there's that PS2 holy trinity of Jack, Sly, Ratchet. But no one really considered Sly that until like well after the fact.
Yeah, it's also one of those things where, like, a lot of people will say, "Oh, Earthbound and Mother 3 were really successful in Japan, but just didn't get a ground in the States." And it's like, Mother 3, I think, sold like 300,000 copies in Japan or something along those lines, which, again, not terrible, but when you compare it to a lot of other franchises, it's like it wasn't an outstanding success. It was a cult game, you know, which is kind of what you expect.
Yeah. Someone asked, Ali asked in the chat, how did Ghost of Tsushima sell compared to the Infamous games? I don't have the exact numbers for Infamous off the top of my head. I know Second Son also outsold the entire Sly series, which is kind of sad, because Second Son's not very good. But I think if you combined all of the Infamous games and discounted the fact that they were 1 and 2 were both free for people that were hacked by Sony or during the Sony hacks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Those even happened. Oh my god.
Yeah, like I think they gave 1 away for free because that was 2009, and then they later gave 2 away for free for an unrelated incident, if memory serves. So a lot of people played those games that never actually paid for them.
I'm one of them. I got that free version.
Hey, there you go.
Good ass games. Good game to have given away too, because it was already kind of the karmic system was already dated by the time those games came out, and I loved it because it was so stupid. Like, hey, do you want to stomp a puppy or do you want to save the world?
It's basically like the dark side, light side from KOTOR, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
like more exaggerated, far more exaggerated.
Even more exaggerated. It's like in KOTOR, it's just like one of your dialogue options are like, "I will have complete power over everyone that slights me," or whatever, and it's like, okay, sure, all right, there, buddy.
Yeah, it's I can't think of a good example that I would be able to say that's not the ending of Second Son. So, yeah, it's.
I think it's far enough that we can say the ending of Second Son because, man, it is really bad.
It's so bad. Oh, Chris, please tell the story about the Lantern District when you got there, because holy shit.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I was playing Second Son for the first time when I got my PS5. It's like, 60 FPS back compatibility. I was like, all right, let's finally go through this. You go through the game, and the story is basically like, what if we went here, and then you get all the little trinkets along the way. So I finally go face to face at a point with the main villain of the game, whose name is Woman. I don't remember her name.
Fuck, what's her name?
Anyway,
I was gonna say Talbot, but that's fucking Uncharted 3.
How do you remember Talbot's name? I'm actually blanking on the details. Kevin, do you know? I know you go up and fight her.
I'll tell the story that I threw in for you.
Yeah, please do.
The antagonist's name was Augustine. It was Brooke Augustine. She's a weird, like,
right.
government lady where she's like, I have superpowers, but we're taking the superpowered people and making them into soldiers or whatever the fuck. When you get to the end of Island 1 in Infamous Second Son, you get into a fight with her, and then the screen goes black because you get, like, hit with something, and then you just cut over to the main character, Troy Baker, landing on the other side of the other island in Seattle. And he just goes, well, I was going to the Lantern District anyway. He wasn't. There was no indication that we were ever going to the Lantern District before that. They just put that line.
The main thing I remembered but couldn't really figure out how to articulate is that she summons like a concrete monster who picks him up, and you see him like in the air, but the camera is just so focused on him and obscuring the thing that's carrying him that it is just completely befuddling, and there's no way to tell what is happening. It feels unfinished, but it sure is there.
Yeah.
But anyway, the ending though.
Yeah. That game is, by the way, unfinished for anyone who's like questioning that or looking at that a little side-eyed. There's an interview that existed that I have not been able to find since, where Troy Baker, in no uncertain terms, said, yeah, the script wasn't done by the time we got to the mocap booth. So we just kind of ad-libbed a lot of that game. Because that game was supposed to be out a year later, but the Order 1886 needed to be delayed internally. So they ruined 2 games for the price of 1.
Yeah. Love it when they do that.
And then Order 1886 came out, and
Wow.
yeah.
Is that the game that like ran at like 24 frames per second to be more like a movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
The game that Knack was unironically better than.
Yellow Knack?
Was it the same team?
No, Knack was Sony
they're both-
Japan and Mark
Yeah,
Cerny,
they were
Dan
both
Harvey.
they were both the PS4 exclusives. Like the first, like the launch titles. I mean.
Yeah, because it was Knack, it was Killzone, and then 6 months later it was Infamous. And that was pretty much it.
And Order 18. Yeah, it was Order. Yeah, and Order.
Well, Order got pushed back was the problem.
Oh right. Yeah.
Okay, so that it just makes me think of Order 66 from Star Wars whenever anybody says the title of that game.
Order 1886. So, Mr. John Stack, I had a
Yes?
question for you. I want to know what was the process you had on making those Monkey Ball comics.
Oh,
I think that'd be fun for people to hear.
yeah, you know, someone from Sega reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in that, and I agreed. And so the process, I guess, was, you know, I would like rough out an idea for a comic, I would send it on over to them, and they would be like, we can't allow the monkeys to do that. And so I would like revise it and then like clean it up and send it over. And sometimes they would have ideas for comics they wanted, and I would draw those. Like the literal process, I guess, you know, I drew them all in like Flash. So I'd open up Flash, I'd draw them.
Are you
Throw 'em into
allowed to say
Photoshop.
some of the ideas that Sega wouldn't let you do?
I don't know. I'm never sure what I'm allowed to say or what I'm not allowed to say when
Yeah,
like,
if you're
weird.
not, if you're unsure, don't worry
I don't
about
know.
it. Yeah.
It's
I
just
was mostly, I was mostly curious if it was like, most of the ones you drew were your original idea. Like that's what I was curious about. Like,
I think,
most of the ones you drew.
a chunk were like my ideas, a chunk were like their ideas, and their team's ideas. And a lot of times there would be like, they'd have an idea like, oh, we want a comic for this specific event, and then I'd come up with something.
How much Monkey Ball did you play before doing the comics?
I played a lot of Monkey Ball. I got what was the one right before this, the HD
Banana
remake
Blitz.
of the
Banana
Wii
Blitz
one?
HD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I played like a significant chunk of that, and then like I also like modded my Wii to put the games on there, and like I was playing like I was diving deep into the world of Monkey Ball for this.
So is
Yeah.
this gameplay currently going on? Is this how frustrating is this?
How frustrating is it?
Yeah,
how
are we doing
frustrating is
good?
watching this?
It seems like you're doing good. I mean, I'm no
Okay,
pro
okay.
Monkey Ball player. or
Also,
anything.
Chris is on the literal worst level in the entire game.
Are you on launchers, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god, I hate launchers so much. You can't even cheese that one with the jump button.
You're still there and or coming up to it, right, Ted? Ted? Help! You're not ahead of
I'm
me,
doing
right?
the Anakin face right now. I know.
Oh,
You're still on launchers, right?
Chris, literally, the reason why, because I was recording Banana Mania LP, and the reason I stopped was because I got the launchers and I couldn't do it, and I gave up and I left, and I never went back.
hey, that's fair. I'm starting to understand.
I think this is where I stopped too, because I bought Banana Mania at one point when it was on sale, because it hit sale pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I picked it up because I was like, yeah, I want another PS5 game. And I think I got 2 launchers, and I was like, I'm good for now.
World 4 is the worst world in the game by far. It should have been like World 6, like the whole thing. It's just a weird difficulty spike, and with a lot of really frustrating levels in it for no reason.
Is there a trick to launchers? Is there like a
Not
consistent
really.
thing you
It
do?
feels pretty random. I know that it's not like there's technically no RNG in Monkey Ball outside of the mini games, but just the way that the physics work, they're ultra precise. So if you're like a couple pixels one way or a couple pixels the other way, you'll just not go where you think you're going to go.
They did make a concession in Banana Mania version, because you can access the original versions of most of the levels that they made adjustments to. And the one in launchers that they did, they added little notches to 2 of the launchers, but I have never found that to be a helping benefit. I found that to be something that makes it even more scattered.
Yeah,
So-
you don't go up as high for some reason.
Yeah, so maybe I'm doing it wrong, but
The changes that they made to some of the stages do help though. Like they made Arthropod playable.
Yes,
the
yes.
one with the spider thing, because there's no longer any gaps. Although they bring them back if you do the original stage version in one of the sub menus. So yay.
I saw Blah6 ask to Ted and Chad a while ago, which I will take up and answer. If Banana Mania is a good place to start and get into the series, absolutely. Unless you
Yes.
want to go a little Yarhar Hari or spend a lot on eBay and check out the original GameCube versions, which I think that's a fun thing to do just for like, oh man, these like very arcadey-ish Sega games from 2000 on the GameCube. I think there's a great appeal to that, and the visual style and everything. It's pretty neat.
And
But
also the
Banana Mania is
cutscenes
great.
in- the
yes.
cutscenes in the original games.
Oh, the
are
cutscenes are terrible.
incredible.
You should watch them.
The
They are
cutscenes are
incredible.
so amazingly bad, and I love them, and that's like the one miss in Banana Mania for me.
Yeah.
In terms of playing the games, though, the controls are like the tiniest bit different between the GameCube games and this, but there's a live and continue system in the originals, and like it's a little bit too harsh. Like I don't know how you ever unlock Master in Donkey Ball 1.
Oh no.
But wait.
Come on, Chris. Come on.
We're
Chris,
there.
got this.
We did it.
Come on. Okay.
Oh god,
I got
you did
stressed.
it.
I do want to jump in real quick. We have a $20 donation from Anonymous who says, love Monkey Ball, hate diabetes. And I think we all agree, so thank you very much.
I hate Monkey Ball and diabetes, actually.
Now, I did want to jump back to what we were asking earlier to you, Keith. I'm curious, when you got word back, if this is something you can talk about, were you getting word back from like the Sega reps that were working with you, and they were passing word along from people at RGG, like the team working on the game directly, or was it sort of like a marketing thing specifically?
No, they were in touch with the people developing the game.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's really cool. I figured that'd be the case, but a lot of what RGG does is kind of like cloak and veil. Like they're very just, here's a game, we made it in a year, and it's very good. And so
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated with like how their process is, and like especially when they're working outside of their usual purview, back on Monkey Ball to begin with, and then also like working with outside like freelance work kind of thing. You know what I mean?
What other games have RGG made?
Yakuza.
All of Yakuza.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew that-
because remember the creator of Yakuza made Monkey Ball.
Yeah, the lineage
know
goes
that-
right back to that, pretty much.
Yeah, I know that the developers for the game were all helped sing the main theme song. Like
Oh, that's
there's
really
a part in the they have a recording of it, and you can see like there's a part in the middle like on the bridge where they go like hello hello, and it's a big choir, and if you watch the behind the scenes, it's all the different developers for Monkey Ball, and it's like, oh, that's neat.
I like that, yeah.
Does that
Did
song
some-
remind anyone else of the locomotion?
It kind of does, actually.
Do the locomotion with me?
Well, now that you mention it, yeah.
Kevin, do you happen
Yes.
to know how well Banana Mania sold?
I can pull it up.
Somebody in chat asked, and I am also quite curious because I hope this game does well enough for them to make a true Monkey Ball 3. That would be really nice.
And also
don't-
Banana Mania's also got as an additional bonus, it has all of those extra characters. It's like, yeah, you could play as Kiryu, you could play as Sonic and Tails, you could play as a Dreamcast, play as Hello Kitty, you could play as Morgana.
You Suizo from Monster Rancher?
What were they on?
I don't know, but I'm glad they were on it.
I mean, same, but what were they on?
While I'm looking, I do want to say that Miniman pointed out that, according to them, it's not the controls that are different in Banana Mania, it's the camera speed. So it's a little bit slower in Banana Mania versus the GameCube version. And the reason I find that fascinating is that there's a thing that was a genuine like push by at least Sony and Microsoft in developing Japanese ports for their games, where you couldn't make the camera more than a certain speed as it panned, because early on in the 3D era, players in Japan were more susceptible to motion sickness. So that's why there's that version of Spyro that has like a fixed camera in Japan.
Yeah.
That's why the early Ratchet games, the one Sly game that came out there, and the two Jack games that came out there, the cameras all, as far as I know, a little bit slower, at least for most of those, maybe not all of them, stuff like that. So for Monkey Ball to have a faster camera back then versus now, I find that fascinating because this game is very easy to get motion sick with, I would assume.
Yeah. There's also this version of the game also has a movable camera. Like here, I'm wiggling it around, which makes the game a lot easier in some instances because, like, your angles are very important in a Monkey Ball at certain points. So, like, being able to not have to wait for the camera to automatically turn is really, really helpful at certain points as well. I haven't gone back and replayed the originals, but I think I would suspect I would prefer playing Banana Mania's control-wise over, or game feel-wise, I suppose, is a better way to put it.
Same.
Yeah.
So as far as I can see, they haven't given out exact sales numbers, but they did. It was noted that at least in the UK, and this tends to track pretty, not uniformly, but pretty close across other regions from what I've looked up in the past, that it sold twice as much as Banana Blitz HD did in its first week. Week to week comparisons there. So
Well, it's almost like these games are good and Banana Blitz was bad.
It's almost like telling people when you tell people to buy something if you want more of a product, you should probably put out a better product.
Yeah.
wasn't the reason for Banana Blitz being the one that they ported was because they kind of had, like, they had more, not necessarily they had the source code versus Monkey Ball 1 and 2, but like it was just already there. So they were like, yeah, we can dump this out in like a month kind of thing.
Yeah, Banana Blitz was newer, and I know that GameCube source code is like really wonky a lot of the time. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lot easier to just like dump Banana Blitz into Unity as opposed to they probably would have to actually remake all the levels.
It was the most recent actual full Monkey Ball game at that time, so it's probably just that I'd be like, because after Banana Blitz, it was just a bunch of spin-offs like Step and Roll and
Well, there was there was
3D
on 3DS, which a lot of people hate. I think it's fine. And there was the Vita game too, but I would imagine those are also probably developed very differently. So
And it's interesting because it's also like a situation of it wasn't until relatively recently that game archiving practices got to a reasonable degree. Like there's a lot of stuff that's just been absolutely lost with like that PS2, GameCube, Xbox era where you were making games so fast even back then, and much so before that, where you didn't really need to document as much as a programmer or what have you, because the goal was to get this shit out because you only have a year. You know, now games take so long that you have to archive shit a little more.
I hate this stage so much. Oh my god.
If I can
Another tracker. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, keep going with that. Actually, I was going to shift back to something.
Okay, another tracker as far as sales go. I don't know how accurate SteamDB's estimations are, but they're saying maybe anywhere from like 25,000 to 100,000 sales on Steam. It's a broad range, but their own internal data says like 20 to 60,000 ish, which is pretty good for Monkey Ball on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the market for it.
Yeah.
My own personal speculation is that they're probably definitely working on another game, though, mostly because they have kept the social media active for the game post-release with all the cooking with AI videos and stuff. In my opinion,
Dude, those are so good. Oh my god.
those are great.
Yeah,
In my opinion,
that-
they should pay Keith to make more comics, but that's just my personal opinion. It doesn't represent everyone here, of course, but I got
Yeah,
stepped
yeah,
on.
that was the great thing about the market, because you had his comics, but then you also had those awesome little like the puppet shorts, and it's like they handled the like the marketing of like the up to the release like incredibly well.
Yeah. The brand made me feel good, and it was nice to feel good.
I like brand. We have a $5 donation from a different anonymous who says, I'm going to have to disagree with the last guy. Hate Monkey Ball, love diabetes. Well,
Thank you for your money, but if you love diabetes, why are you donating to fight it?
he's sitting there, diabetes kind of sus. We got to look into it.
He wants to understand it better.
It's like somebody's like, ah, man, I'm the world's biggest Yankees fan, buys 6 Red Sox hats. It's like, interesting. Tell me more.
Thank you for your 5.
Yeah, thanks for the money to a great cause that you don't support.
Or do you?
Well, maybe he does support diabetes, and he's donating towards that, like to diabetes itself.
Like, he wants them to research us.
I don't want them to research us. That would go real bad.
If anybody's wondering how to get this classic baby skin, I believe you can only get it by buying the DLC for it, which is like $5 for the GameCube models.
Doesn't Baby become a fucking robot in one of these games or something?
Oh, Baby's always been from the future.
That's what it was. Yep. Okay.
Fun fact, Baby came from the future to make sure his parents bang, because I's too self-absorbed and likes bananas too much to bang Mimi. This is canon, by the way.
Yo,
That's also why I get Keith, like, I loved your comics, because there's the comic you did where Baby's crying in front of the banana tree and I's like, and then he stuffs the bananas in his ears to not have to hear the crying anymore. That's like actually in character, as like established in the manuals and stuff, which I loved. That was great.
Yeah, I did my research into the deep lore of Monkey Ball series for those.
I just remembered our discussion in our Banana Bullets HDLP discussing whether I would be considered a harem protag. I think we're like, because he only had love interests, so he wouldn't count.
Yeah, there's only 2 potential love interests. There needs to be like at least 3 or 4.
It needs to, like at least one more, yeah. Then he'd be, because then there's
I'm on low battery.
what's her face is the other one, like who's the rival again?
Yanya.
I mean, if every
Yanya.
banana is a love interest.
Okay, yeah, if the bananas count, then yeah, so he is a harem protag because he has 3 different options.
Bananas, Yan Yan, or Mimi.
Yeah.
Ed, are you above a washing machine?
Yes. In the story of this game, Dr. Bad Boon shrinks the team with his shrink ray, and then he's going to cook them in a curry, but they get away, and then he thinks he smells too bad, and Mimi, Dr. Bad Boon is trying to seduce Mimi. For the record, he smells too bad, so Mimi will never go out with him if he's stinky. So he goes into the bath and puts his clothes in the washing machine, and so now we are doing levels in the washing machine.
Again, this is why you need to play the GameCube version.
Yeah, the game version establishes these things a lot better.
Because in the story mode, all it does is just they just have those really terrible cardboard cutout things. Like, here's a TV, here's people like watching, like just like the stock PNGs kind of moving about.
It'd be like me gathering my friends around to be like, look at this time I got into a car crash.
We do have a $20 donation from King Jackal who says, topical question, what are people's favorite banana-based dish?
Oh.
I like just normal bananas. Like I eat regular ass bananas all the time.
Ass bananas?
You,
I know what I said.
You ever have a banana glizzy?
Boy, have I.
Yeah, I don't like when bananas are in something like whenever you have like banana flavored whatever. It's just I never really care for that. But I love bananas on it. Like just regular bananas are like some of my absolute favorite fruit.
Oh,
You
so
like
fun fact-
banana sundaes?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
fun
I
facts,
don't really care for banana. Yeah, I know you're gonna say the fun fact. Go ahead, say it.
Aw, damn it! But now you know the fun fact.
I
and
know
now
the
it's
fun,
not a
but
fun
some people might not know. So go and tell
Okay,
for them.
so the strand of banana that you probably eat today
Strand?
is not the same strand that they ate like 70, 80s years ago. And so a lot of the banana flavoring is still based off of that old strand. So that's why banana flavored anything doesn't taste like
Yeah,
bananas.
there was. So you know the plot of The Last of Us, where there's a fungus that destroys humanity. That was what happened with bananas. I wish I was kidding.
Yeah, so it's like the
I wish
reason
you
why
were too.
banana flavored things taste different is because they're from that original version of banana, not
Well,
like
there's a lot
There
of,
were
like,
there were a few species of banana that got wiped out, so there's only
Yeah.
4 left, I believe.
but like control of banana trade is like actually like a big deal because they're such a popular food. That's why the term Banana Republic exists. Because like it's just like a puppet state so that they can control that trade. So you know.
and the only thing I know about Banana Republic is they have clothes.
Well, it's also like the Dole Company did a lot of shitty things to control the banana trade. Fun fact, also a sponsor of the original Super Monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Today on Brands Are Bad, I'll say banana bread, by the way. Banana bread's very, just like a really good, like almost bad banana. Throw that into some mix, make some banana bread. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever we have any left over, we make banana bread with it.
I'm going to invoke my first cheat code of the session and use the jump button because I hate this
Okay.
stage.
What stage are you on now?
I'm on the one with the 2 long moving columns. No, I'm not. The ones
He's
that
on
overlap and then unoverlap and keep going back and forth.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one. You have to like. I had to memorize the pattern. Where
Yeah.
they flip-flop,
My brain
in
doesn't
order
work so good.
We have 3 more donations really quick.
Okay.
$5 from Diabetes himself,
Oh.
who says, I love Monkey Ball, hate myself. Yo, same. We have $5 from Mr. King Jacob 9002, who asks, has anyone here played Super Monkey Ball Adventure? I'm sorry if you have.
I have. I'll talk about it after donations are over.
Okay. And then third up here is Sir2 with $25, who says,
Yo.
I hate FCTR and love lean. Hashtag blast over PS All Stars 2.
Yo, can someone give me some lean?
Don't play Super Monkey Ball Adventure. It's bad. It's a really bad game. Please don't play it.
Don't drink lean.
That's by Traveler Tales, right? Traveler's Tales?
I
Yes.
believe so. It's just like it's an adventure game, but you still control like it's normal Monkey Ball.
Right.
So that's weird. But it's just really obtuse, and the way that the character moves, I don't normally get motion sickness from Monkey Ball. That game gave me motion sickness. I tried to play it for like an hour and couldn't, and then stopped.
They should make a director's cut of that game.
No.
I mean,
No.
I'm sure that it could be salvaged.
We'll just
like-
update all the character models and make AI able to go through the floor. Let the Game Grumps play it. Oh God. I only know
What are we making fun of right now? Probably something Sonic.
Sonic Adventure DX.
Yeah. No, Sonic. I was thinking Traveler's Tales. Weren't they the team that did? It was John Burton who did.
Oh, you're thinking the 3D
Blast.
Blast.
3D Blast.
Yeah, is that not also Traveler's Tales?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that,
Traveler's
that's probably-
Tales has done a lot of stuff. They did the Lego Star Wars games, the
Yeah.
original ones at least.
They still do everything Lego,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
as far as I
it's-
know.
They have a very lopsided quality history. Like You can tell when they were given time and a budget and when they weren't. Very easily.
I just like the European cover art for Super Monkey Ball Adventure, where he has the clearly you've never owned an air fryer expression. I think that's pretty good. Oh, no. I remember being bad at this game, but I forgot just how bad I was, and I'd like to apologize to everyone but Ted.
Can I also get an apology?
No.
Okay.
Come on, Kiryu!
Ian Bowe said in chat, I'm still holding out hope that in Yakuza 8 there's a monkey ball minigame where Ichiban is stuck in one of those giant hamster balls. That's probably going to happen.
I need to play Like a Dragon.
You do.
Yeah, that game looks like legitimately like really fun. Like you can play it like a Yakuza game, or you can play it like an RPG. It's like, and it's basically just that guy being in the imagination box from SpongeBob, where it's just like, okay, I'm gonna pretend the world's a Dragon Quest game, and then immediately everybody around him start doing weird dances and wearing outlandish clothes. That sounds awesome.
It's so good because there's even parts in game where there is just a bunch of over the top Yakuza shit that still happens, independent of the fact that he's imagining he's in Dragon Quest.
Yeah, because it's not like Yakuza isn't ridiculous just to start with. You know?
Yeah.
That's a great
Speaking
game.
of dumb things RGG Studio did, they were the ones, if I recall, that are responsible for porting Virtua Fighter 5 to modern systems, just because they were already putting it in Yakuza games. So then they were like, well, what if we just did this for real?
Yakuza is based on Virtua Fighter? Like the controls?
No. The Yakuza team put Virtua Fighter in the arcades in each game.
Oh, okay.
And so they were like, well, if we're already doing that, why don't we just fucking do it? And so they made Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, and now there's DLC where you can put Tekken characters and Yakuza characters in it, so you can get Kiryu technically into Tekken.
I remember that for Tekken 7, where they were adding like Geese Howard from SNK into the game. They talked about Yakuza, like Kiryu from Yakuza being added, but apparently like he wouldn't hit a woman, so
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Ichiban will, so the problem's solved.
okay, I guess that makes sense. But I mean, granted, like many of the women in Tekken are like assassins and murderers, so I don't know if that would have anything to do with it.
No, Kiryu has two things. He doesn't kill and he doesn't hit women except for his daughter.
Except for his daughter and the time he grabbed a human and used him as a bullet shield.
Or the time he slapped his girlfriend.
Yeah, that happened too.
Is this kind of like Batman, where it's just like, I don't kill, and then in Batman Beyond he knocks a guy off a bell tower, and it's just like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't kill him, the ground
There's a really good one that someone posted years ago, which was like Kiryu doesn't kill, and then it's him grabbing a guy in front of machine gun fire and using him as a human shield. It's so good.
Kevin, you might remember I don't remember if it's one you played or not, which is the one where a helicopter is shooting at him in the Millennium Tower and he does something that makes the helicopter crash. Three. They didn't survive that. Those people died because of
No,
Kiryu.
they're alive. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Why did he hit, okay, but I want to know, why did he hit his daughter? Like, what is the context?
she was being like, she was doing like the hysterical young child. No, we have to do this thing. And it was involving a bunch of death, obviously, because it's Yakuza. And so he just looks over to her and just slaps her in the face, and then she gets it together.
Kiryu was
that's
very,
not
I'm going to hit a girl happy early
She
in the
became
series.
a pop idol.
That is true.
That is not like, for people who have children, that doesn't actually help your child. That just like
Makes it worse.
represses some trauma. Yeah.
If it helps, it was 2005. The times were different.
No, that's not that different.
I know.
So what you're saying is they made Yakuza woke.
Yakuza's woke.
I've gotten comments on my videos basically saying that, so I think they did.
Oh yeah, because they changed a couple missions in 3 for the HD version, for the modern version rather. Might as well be the HD version. Where they changed a couple stuff to get rid of a few things that were out of character for Kiryu, and not really fitting the modern times that we live in, and people got mad about that never played Yakuza anyway. We do have a $5 donation from Monkey Army, who says, "II makes us monkeys look bad. Now, popping balloons with darts, glue, spikes, and balloon chippers, that's good quality monkey business. Sailor Moon did that child from the future stuff better." Now, I did want to ask, Keith, have you played anything Yakuza related while we're on RGG Studio games?
Yeah. The only Yakuza game I played like all the way through was Like a Dragon.
Okay, that's a good one to go with.
Yeah.
But I did play that. And I think I've I started Yakuza 0, but never got super far into it.
Yakuza's always seemed very intimidating to me. I mean, granted, I play JRPGs, but still, the idea of like a 80-hour game is still like a lot.
Right, they're like super long, and they're like 7 of them.
Yeah, like it's more of the game investment than the time investment, because like 0 is one of the longest ones, which is why it's like Chris and I always get into like we go back and forth where I'm like, I think that you should play Kiwami first. And generally everyone agrees that 0 is probably the one you play first, but 0 is 40 hours, and so it's hard for me to recommend to somebody that I know would like the series, hey, I think you should play 1, because 1's like 12 hours long. And that's still pretty long, but like once you get to like 3 hours in, you're gonna beat that game and immediately start 2, because that's what I did. And so I still haven't played 0 because I'm trying to get through. I want to get through 5 before I do 0, and like play it like in release order, kind of.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff in 0 like references other games, and I figure at that point like I'm already this far in.
That's one of the issues of playing 0 and 1 back to back, is that 0 was made first and it references a lot of 1's, like even just down to like events that happen, and then due to having all that stuff done, they were like, well, we can just remake the first game pretty easy now. So if you play them back to back, you're getting a good bit of stuff. It's like, I just did this, but better. Oh well.
Yeah.
How much fatigue do you get when playing Yakuza? Because I know that there's a lot of games.
So in my experience, every time I've played one Yakuza game, I've played 2 back to back. So if you ever see, like, for anyone that is watching this, that watches my YouTube stuff, if you ever see me not upload for a month and a half, it's usually Yakuza's fault. Like pretty consistently. So I played 1 and 2 almost to 100% back to back because I was so invested. Then put them down because I knew I couldn't do any further. I then played 3 in Like a Dragon back to back. I think I played 3 in Judgment back to back, and then I played 4 in Like a Dragon back to back, and then Lost Judgment I played solo because that one's really long. But generally, I play them all. I play 2 of them in a row because they're just that good. And they're like a rare series that like continues to reference past events besides 3. So you can like play 1 and 2 deals with the fallout of 1. And there aren't a ton of games that do that in like it's 1 year later, but the whole game is based around the stuff you did last game. And I kind of like that continuity.
Yeah.
I guess the only other game I can think of that's like that is like Ace Attorney to some extent.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
You know, even then there's still a lot of like filler in each game. Has the RGB Studios done anything else of note? Because I know that they've been doing a lot of Yakuza for like the past 8 or 9 years.
It depends how you want to divvy up like the label, because like RGG Studios was made before, was it Dead Souls, Kevin? Like I think that's when they formally put the name on it, around that time period.
I think that's their first one. Good game to start with.
Or it might have been Binary Domain, actually. That might have been what it was.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, the first games that RGG like officially developed were Binary Domain and Yakuza 5 in 2012.
Yeah, but like if you go back through the lineage, it's like Super Monkey Ball, F-Zero GX, and then like some of the leading people were on Daytona USA, so you can kind of track it.
Amusement Visions?
Yeah.
That's a deep cut. I didn't even remember that name. Holy shit.
Yeah, even I was sitting here like, I don't remember the name of that, so I'm just going to not say it and hope people know what I mean.
Well, they had their name on everything in the original Monkey Ball. Like, there were several stages where the Amusement Visions logo.
Oh, right. They had the URL to their website on it, too, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's even more with Yakuza like we haven't gotten yet. Like there's still there's 4 Japanese only Yakuza games, 2 on PSP and 2 on PS3. One of which is a PS4 game too. And those are probably
like the feudal Japan ones.
Yeah. Those are probably inevitable to come here. I think the last that I remember hearing was they essentially said if we were gonna do one of them, it would have to be a Kiwami, like a full remaster, rather than just like porting it over, because that was their first PS3 game, and Yakuza 3 already played like shit. And that was their second PS3 game.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how the first one played.
Is Yakuza 3 like the one people don't like?
It's the
least
filler
liked.
episode. Yeah, it's the filler episode.
Okay.
It's the beach episode, basically.
I like it for what it is, and I would like it more if they actually had acknowledged anything that happened in that game, besides like one or two things after that. Sertu's asking if the PSP games had fan translations. The first one has a partial translation of just the story stuff, I believe, and that just finished in like the last year.
And 2 has a translation finished, and I think the people who did that are going back and doing one their own way, I think.
Okay, I didn't know that 2 had one that was finished. That's even better. Cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like mostly done. So if you want to see the story of those games, you can go do that right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's on my agenda.
And also, yeah, looking, other than the 2 Monkey Ball games, all the Yakuza games, and the Judgment games, and Binary Domain, that's all RGG Studio has done since.
While we have a platform to talk about Judgment, you should all play Judgment and Lost Judgment. Those are 2 of the best games of the last few years.
Yeah, if you're actually looking at Yakuza and it's like, I want to get in, but there's like 30 million games, just hop in with Judgment.
Yeah, Judgment's
Is
2
it
games.
in the same series?
It's in the same like universe, sort of. Like, so they're definitely related. They were very loosely related in that the first game, Judgment, took place in Kamurocho, like that 1 8-block square that is the entire series. That was in like the world of Yakuza, but they didn't really reference events of the games. Lost Judgment directly references stuff that happened in 7, so they're like now they're back to being related.
Yeah. It's like a
So
cool
it's-
supplemental thing, but it's also entirely a full-ass Yakuza game at the same time, too. So, best of
Yeah.
both worlds.
Also, in Lost Judgment, you can beat up children.
High
what?
schoolers, but children, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Wait, what?
so the game's about bullying. So you, you
So
bully
naturally,
a
you
bunch-
as a 30-year-old man with a chain wallet go
Hey.
around and beat up kids.
Hey, 39.
That's 39. Yeah.
So you're saying bullying's bad, and you're gonna stop bullying by bullying high schoolers.
It's you go to the school to figure out there's like a bullying related suicide that happens, and so you go to the school to investigate, and you end up beating up some of the bullies because they try and fight you, and so then you beat them up, and then you become a teacher, and then still beat up a bunch of kids anyway. It's not a huge part of the game where you fight kids, but it's there, and it's kind of weird.
You learn a very passive fighting style, which is very like parry heavy, and that was the attempt to be like, oh, you're not actually hurting them, but then you can just switch to one of your other fighting styles.
You can still switch to just punch him in the mouth, like
Yeah.
especially with the DLC, because they added there's a boxer style in like there's a
God.
boxing mini game. They added a boxer style from that mini game into your main moveset with like the season pass stuff. And so now, if you went back and played that game, you could just start boxing a bunch of children. Like they're supposedly 18, but like they're like 16-year-old kids that look like they're 40.
That's at least the top 3 Yakuza game, though, for me.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite one.
Because you can beat up children. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, for that reason, yeah. Like, it might be my favorite, honestly. Like, it's just
Yeah,
that good
it's-
for me as a hardcore, dedicated fan at this point. Like, that's definitely one
Yeah.
of the highlights, for at least.
and I will say in your case, Ted, since you like Ace Attorney a lot, Judgment 1 is like a whodunit. And like you're playing as a detective / lawyer the whole game.
Yeah, it's been Yakuza, in like not specifically Judgment, but the whole series has been on my to-do list for years. I need
Yeah.
to get around to doing.
Yeah, that's really the best entry point for them, especially because they do the objection at one point, which is great.
Yeah.
And then Lost Judgment's more of a why done it, which is really unique.
Oh, so they know who did it, but it's like a why did you do it kind of thing.
Yeah,
I always like those kinds of things as well. Like that's whenever like there's a mystery thing and it's like so you know who did the crime, but like the mystery is why. Like those are always like really well done.
yeah. And Yakuza games more and more as of late have become like huge international government conspiracies in game form. So like they're so involved by the end that it's just like a JRPG plot dump mind blow. And it's
So
like,
it's
man,
the Fast and Furious of the
you
video
know,
game world.
you know, I hate that comparison, but you can race motorbikes in Lost Judgment. So
So what you're telling me is that eventually Kiryu's gonna go to space and like jump out of.
he
Wait,
did
did he
drift
go-
he did drift a taxi and like fight somebody while driving a taxi in 5.
And you can also put your adopted pop idols promotional marketing onto your cabinet or your taxi cab as you do this. So basically, it's the best game ever made.
So good. We do have $5 from Ian Bow, who said, I know people meme on the slap, but to be fair, it was only once in the first game when Kiryu just met Haruka, and both him and Haruka realized they were both out of line. Yeah, it's like the slap out of context is funny. There is like it does make sense in the story. The 1 and 2 does not make as much
Wait,
sense.
he slaps a child again? Okay.
No, he slaps like his girlfriend character that's never referenced again.
Oh, okay.
She left. I wonder why. Jeez. Come on,
Oh,
Kiryu.
so the girl isn't like his blood daughter. He adopted her. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I kind of got the never has talked to a woman sexually vibe from Kiryu.
Yeah, Kiryu canonically is a virgin.
Wait, he actually is a virgin?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
If you go by one of the producers, yeah, there is like one side story in one of the games where it's very heavily implied a woman takes him to a hotel and then he leaves being like, whoa, what happened? But we don't know like what actually happened. I'd like to formally request no one look at my screen because I am just eating dirt so hard that I'm ashamed.
Has Ichiban had sex?
Probably.
He grew up in a soap land, but I don't know if he's personally ever.
Yeah, he was born and abandoned, and he was adopted by a brothel owner. So he just lived in a brothel as a kid playing Dragon Quest.
As you do.
I'm just imagining, like, if he's living in a brothel playing Dragon Quest, like, somebody's gonna finish and then it's gonna be like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh.
That's vulgar. I apologize.
Yeah, how could you? Honestly, you should, like, give me a 10-minute handicap for that.
You know, talking about soaplands and saying 10-minute handy with a space in between, you kind of worried me there.
I mean, we can work some stuff out.
10 minutes. Wow, that's impressive.
We've got, fittingly, $5 from Cream the Rabbit 98, who says, "Hello everyone, this money's going towards the daily raffle, and I have a question for everyone here. How did you get into the Super Monkey Ball franchise, and which game helped you become a fan? Thanks again." Keith, let's start with you. Which Monkey Ball was the one that you probably played first, or like got you most into the
Sure.
series?
I think the first may have been like the arcade machine. I think.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Because there used to be an arcade like relatively close to me that had the machine, and so like that was my first experience playing it before I got like. I think I may have gotten like that Xbox weird combination of the first two Super Monkey Balls.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
That's like
a
the
good
first one I
version
owned.
of the originals.
But yeah, the arcade was my very first.
I've been fortunate that I one of our buddies has an arcade right near him that has one of the Monkey Ball machines now, and we're actually we're going up that way after Monday, in the gap between weeks 1 and 2 of this event, and so I'm gonna play some Monkey Ball arcade.
You can use the absolutely terrible banana joystick.
No, it's the new trackball one.
Oh, okay.
What I always remember about the Monkey Ball arcade is that too many games had one, and then right after I played it, it stopped working.
You broke the Monkey Ball arcade machine?
Steph.
Yeah.
You're probably the fucker that broke Windjammers, the one you wanted to play. And only had one player working barely.
And
Also, at Niagara Falls in like one of the arcades, they had like a special like Monkey Ball one that you could win like tickets on, and it was one where you have to keep like putting the trackball down as fast as possible so that you can get II to enter like a certain hole to get like the jackpot of tickets. Like that was a fun one to do.
So for me, I got the first game as a birthday present from my grandmother. I got it in Sonic Adventure 2 actually at the same time.
So did she like you or hate you?
But the thing is I'm only ignoring that question because you cut out on my Discord and I didn't hear it.
Oh, I said, so does she love you or hate you?
My grandmother was a wonderful person.
She gave you SA too.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's perfect.
She also gave me Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, so maybe she did hate me.
there you go. There it is.
But growing up, at first, I didn't actually play the game as much. My sister did. It was like she, by that point, because it was like 2002, so she would have been like 9. She was growing out of video games at that point. Like, she had played Pokemon and Mario Kart and other stuff with me. But by that point, she wasn't as interested in them anymore. But she still played a lot of Monkey Ball, and she actually ended up getting Monkey Ball 2 for her birthday later that year, which I always thought was kind of funny. And she's still probably better than me at Monkey Ball, now that I think about it, but you know.
This is where you reveal that she's actually playing for you.
I wish that was the case, but she and her husband and her kids all got COVID last week, so we haven't been able to see them. So everybody send hashtag thoughts and prayers to my sister and her family so that they get better
Yeah, hopefully
soon.
they're okay.
Yeah, they all seem fine. Like doesn't seem like they were that serious of cases, but it's just a
That's
shame
good, at
because
least.
I love seeing them. And like her kids are really young too, so
Yeah.
That sucks.
yeah.
Not to swing left immediately from that. Chris, your
please
first
do.
monkey ball.
My first monkey ball experience was watching the person you referenced, actually, Kevin, world famous JRpg, who joined us for Jackbox last night. He played his very legally ripped copy of Super Monkey Ball 2 over Discord screen share, and I was just watching it. And like typically, my thought is always that my brain does not like hitting a task over and over and failing, so I just always assumed I would hate the monkey ball games. But watching him play, he got into a trance by playing it, and I got into a trance by watching it, and we just had a very deep bond somehow over watching him fail at the Super Monkey Ball 2 level, where it's the water one with the big dropping spheres over and over. Neither of us realized that there was a button right behind the start that makes it easy. So we spent about an hour and 20 minutes just watching him fail at that level over and over.
I think I came in by the end of that and saw that happen.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
sure.
'Cause I think we
Did
dropped
you
that at
realize at the
launchers.
very end that there was a slow button?
Nope, we realized it months later. So I watched that and I was like, man, that actually seemed like fucking something else. I don't know what the hell. I got to see that for myself. So I also legally ripped a copy of Super Monkey Ball 2 and played it in Dolphin. And from there, I was like, all right, I get it. I appreciate it. I'm into Monkey Ball now. Maybe not every Monkey Ball. Maybe I just like the first two, but that's all it takes, right? I feel like that's kind of where most people are. There are some
Yeah.
Banana Blitz lovers. There are some Step and Roll lovers, I bet, but
Yeah, generally speaking, though, the main love for the series is the first two games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know for me, mine was weird because it was like right when I got my first iPod Touch, and I downloaded the Monkey Ball iOS game because it was one of the free games, and I was like, I can play this. So I played that, and I played the mobile version of Sonic 4, even though I didn't like Sonic at that point. Fuck that one, but Monkey Ball was okay.
that just reminded me, my actual first experience was the Monkey Ball McDonald's LCD game.
Oh shit! I didn't give you God damn it!
Kevin,
I didn't bring it with me. The Cat McDonald's toy game that I bought two of to give you one of.
oh, you could have given me a working one.
Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. How much money did you spend on the the Cat McDonald's toy?
$600 or so? No, like $5.
Oh, okay. Because
It
that
wasn't-
does
it
seem
wasn't a
like
lot.
the kind of thing.
You just
that
use his
people would try
Patreon
to
money.
scalp. Because, like, if I
They-
remember correctly, like the old Burger King Pokemon toys are actually worth some money.
The Shadow one was worth a little more. These were also all sealed in the bag, so I don't know I don't know how. Like someone like bought these like a hoarder at some point, and they're probably dead now, and that's how someone like their kid was selling them. Like yeah, $5, I don't care. Like it's fucking the stuffed toys. What are those things called?
Plushes?
You know, not the plushes. The Beanie Babies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's
right.
like Beanie Babies where people hoarded Beanie Babies and then their kids sell them for nothing.
Did you all complete your Sonic Movie 2 McDonald's toy collections?
Or was that just me?
I forgot they did those. Shit.
I didn't, but if David the Lurker were here, I bet he would somehow have done it. Because that sounds like something he would have done.
The worst part about like the magic of the McDonald's toy has been lost over the years because now you
Yeah.
realize as an adult you're like, oh, I could just be like, hey, can I just give you $10 and get all of them? And they'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like, they literally don't. Like, remember when you were a kid and you'd get the same one twice and you'd be so sad, and then like you find out later that your parents could have just been like, hey, can I get the other one? Like, it's just awful. Like your parents gypped you out of such a better experience.
I know.
They screwed
it's,
you over.
It's the worst.
We got clued into that life hack somehow, so we got around that at my household, thankfully.
Wait, but can
Damn.
you really actually just buy all of the toys? Like, if they have an option for that?
I think so. I think you just give them like a couple dollars and
I think sometimes they only have like certain toys in like certain weeks.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like,
you can't like get the whole series in one go.
yeah. But
well,
you can
I
always
mean, that
ask,
makes
like,
sense.
hey,
They
can I
want
get
you
this
to keep
one?
on buying their food, so
Yeah.
I will say I did complete the McDonald's Inspector Gadget toy legitimately with no hacks. That was the one that like Voltron together into a complete Inspector Gadget man.
Oh, I think I had some of those.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a core memory. Holy shit.
That thing was crazy.
Holy shit.
I've never heard anybody describe it like that. But oh my god, that's like the most raw statement I've ever heard in my life. That's a core memory.
On that note, we have $5 more from Ian Bow. Thank you once again. Ian
you.
says, one of my favorite nonsensical jokes in Yakuza is in 6, where in the scuba diving minigame, Kiryu rips off his short-sleeved shirt with his arms exposed to reveal a full-body dive suit that covers more skin than he was showing a second ago.
The diving minigame is so fun.
My favorite thing about the way that in Yakuza, the dramatic fucking rip off your shirt bit is there's a really good one in Judgment that I won't tell you which Judgment or where it is, but there's a really good one that happens. That's a spoiler. But my favorite part about like the gimmick of ripping off your entire suit and shirt in one fucking swift motion is that that's what John Cena actually does with his shirts. Like he figured out a strategy to take off his shirt in one arm, like one single pull.
Oh.
And so every time they do that, I'm just like, I wonder if he learned it from that.
I didn't know that was
It's-
possible.
Yeah, I
I'll
had to
pull
do
a
it a
GIF
couple
up.
of times when I was doing drama in high school for like a show, and we always had to have specific like special costumes with like Velcro straps hidden, and like even then it still was easy to screw up.
It's impressive because, especially with John
Time.
Cena, he's a fucking sausage man. And
Time.
oh, time. Oh,
What do
you're
you mean
done.
you beat the game? What?
Yeah,
Whoa.
you're not even close, Chris. You're not.
What? What do you?
So this
Oh.
is why we only had an hour.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah,
I bet you can't beat the Super Monkey Ball 1 stages before I finish up Super Monkey Ball 2.
probably not. No.
Well, we have half an hour until the next run, so
I'm stuck on
gonna-
6-9.
nice.
Thank you. I thought I was doing okay. Well, I mean, okay, I don't think I was doing okay. I was stuck on 2 stages for like 10 minutes each, but, you know, other than that.
That's impressive. You killed that in. That was really good time. We
It
started
took
what,
me
4?
an hour and a half to do it
So-
earlier, so
Oh.
That was pretty close to exactly what time we were scheduled for. So
okay, then you know what? That's pretty reasonable, I would imagine.
Congratulations, Ted. I guess you earned it fair and square.
I'll try to see if I can beat Master in Monkey Ball 1.
yeah, because we have till a little before 6, so that Stefan can get ready for the next run, which is Viva Pinata Party Animals. I had to look up the subtitle because I knew it was Viva Pinata. But that's going to run from 6 to 7, so we have a little bit of time before that.
Stefan, are you doing that locally? Stefan might be away getting that ready, actually.
He is currently muted, so he might have run over to start that up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If he's doing it locally, I think that'll be one of the few times that has ever been played locally for streaming on the internet,
Like ever? Probably.
which is very amusing to me. Yeah, Viva Pinata Party Animals is like the Mario Party Viva Pinata they, you know, kind of just tossed out. No one talks about it ever, which makes me think that in the streaming age, no one has ever went back and streamed it like locally. So that might be a notch in our belt as the charity room.
I wonder if we can do Pac-Man Party one year. Like,
Ooh.
because that game seems actually terrible, but really funny because you can be Tiger and Heihachi from Tekken.
Yeah.
And I kind of just want to play it, even though I know it'll be.
Was that a GameCube game?
I think PS2, GameCube.
Yeah,
Xbox?
GameCube, PS2. I don't know about Xbox. That was made by the same team that I think also made the similarly bad Shrek Party like board game, Mario Party kind of vibe, and also they later ported Jack and Daxter to the PS3.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wasn't that port really bad?
No, the PS3 port's fine. It's the rest of them that are bad.
Oh, okay.
The
I
main
mean, like,
contention is that they kind of cropped the image inward to get a 16:9. It's not actual widescreen, but other than that, it seems
Yeah,
fine.
like It's like every PS2 to PS3 port where there's a couple small issues that the diehards are mad about. It's the monkey ball thing where like there's a couple things that don't matter.
Yeah.
But you upset 5 people, so how dare you?
Unless they matter to you, in which case that's completely understandable. But otherwise, it doesn't matter.
I said what I said.
I got a
What you're saying
trophy.
is we should do Shrek Party for
No,
a charity event.
I had to play that, and it wasn't even funny. It was just bad.
Oh yeah, because you did a video on all the Shrek games, right?
I had a thing where I was doing Shrek games for a while, and thankfully I killed that off and have not acknowledged it since until this moment. So
The thing is, the more you talk about it, the more other people will then talk about it. So you have to not talk about it to kill it for good.
yeah,
Speaking of Kevin, how do you feel about Shrek?
yo, I'm gonna kill myself.
Okay, Kevin, I need to know: are you a Shrek 2 is better person or a Shrek 1 is better person?
Like movie-wise?
Yeah.
What did we just say?
I'm Kevin, and I think Shrek 2 is the better one. You
I
can
think they're
clip
both
that and
actually
quote me.
like jokes aside. I think they're both good movies, and the memes have kind of ruined them.
Yeah, they kind of have.
Shrek 1's a legitimately great movie. So is 2, but like, I think Shrek 1 kind of gets forgotten about how good Shrek 1 is just because of the memes, like you said.
Yeah,
I think Shrek 1 has aged better than Shrek 2.
that's fair.
Because Shrek 2 is a lot of very dated early 2000s memes.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because it kind of makes it funnier over time because they're so dated now that it's kind of come back around. It's like a really bad Family Guy reference.
Was it 2 or 3 that had the Simon Cowell DVD extra?
That was 2.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah, the best thing that's ever come out of the Shrek franchise is in Shrek Super Slam, the fighting game, the Power Stone game. There's there's that bit in Shrek 2 where they go to the Friar Tuck's Fat Boy drive-thru. In Shrek Super Slam, Friar Tuck's Fat Boy is a stage, and there's an actual song, like a theme song for Friar Tuck's Fat Boy that they made. And I swear to God, it had most of the budget of this game because it is just the best song. It is so fucking catchy. It's like such a good little high octane jingle for this fast food company that doesn't exist.
How much money for you to sing it? I'm joking.
Good. What's that Shrek Super Slam Evo? God. Shrek's. So here's a funny thing. People know that Shrek Super Slam had like a tier list at one point. That tier list only exists because somebody who played PlayStation All-Stars got mad that people were giving it tier lists that he didn't agree with. So he made a Shrek Super Slam tier list because he was like, this game's more competitively viable than that one. And then people took that tier list seriously.
Oh my god.
And so that's why that game has a competitive community that existed for like a year.
Man, another great thing to happen thanks to PlayStation All-Stars.
PlayStation All-Stars died so everything else could live. I'll say it.
Oh, God, I forgot that this level exists. Oh, man.
We
It's
have
good that we didn't pick Monkey Ball 1 because this level is actually torture.
Yeah.
This looks like pain. We've got $5 from Momo, who says, somebody once pointed out to me that Lost Judgment's box art is literally just goatsy, and now I can never unsee it when I look at the box art.
Yeah, I think I posted it actually on the r/looks like goatsy subreddit or something back then. Just immediately because I was like, yep, that's goatsy.
Yeah. Within seconds of that box art being shown, I think you sent it in one of our servers. You were like, yeah, goatsy. And I was like, oh, fucking God, who let that happen?
Somebody in chat asks if Shrek Super Slam has rollback netcode.
Someone probably fucking put it in the Dolphin version of the game.
That's going to be the last announcement of Evo.
I can't believe that they put rollback netcode into TMNT tournament fighters. That like makes me angry. Actually, it's just like, why? Why would you do that?
Well, you know.
There's starving children on this planet, and you put rollback netcode into TMNT tournament fighters.
Well, yeah, now they can enjoy the rollback netcode.
Yeah. All those starving children.
I mean, they'll still be hungry, but at least they can play the game.
Hey, maybe if they get good enough, they can win the prize pool.
What, $100?
That's enough for like 5 Big Macs nowadays.
No. Don't you guys have $5?
Eight, 7,
Oh, monkey
I'm just
ball.
imagining like Sarah Laughlin music playing while it's while kids are playing TMNT Tournament Fighters. It's like, I will remember you. Every year, children are forced to play TMNT Tournament Fighters without rollback netcode. For the simple price of $10 a day, you could help these children play a game with proper fighting game netcode. Please, help a child in need now.
Heath, what's your opinion on rollback netcode?
People like it, right? People enjoy it when games have that. I'm to understand, right?
Just threw you right under the bus on that one. Holy shit.
It's going to be the year 2099, and Nintendo's still going to have server-based netcode for Smash Brothers 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, if we're filling time, let's just like assume I was someone who hears everyone say, rollback, but I didn't really get it. What would you tell me rollback is at that point?
It's coming to Dragon Ball Fighters coming soon.
Hey!
I'm trying to think of the quick way to explain it. So what you do is, you know how in Call of Duty when you're, that's a game I know you've played, Chris.
Yeah.
Any shooter, when you're shooting at somebody and then you're like, oh, they should have died, or oh, that bullet shouldn't have hit me, and then you die anyway.
Yeah, like in Apex.
That is the game rolling back to a state that it's catching on to, saying, oh, that shouldn't have happened, but it happened on your screen if you were playing offline, but that wasn't what the server side of the game saw functionally. It's a little different with fighting games, but essentially both sides of a rollback netcode game are playing a local game, and then the opponents are usually, or at least sometimes, being played by like predictive gameplay of like what options that player could do at any given point. And then if it doesn't line up with what the actual player did on the other side, it will then roll back to that prior state instead of missing an input. Sort of. I'm saying it very poorly. I'm sure chat's going to be able to do it much better than I would.
So there'll be points where on your end, you did a low attack and the opponent went to jump, but on your end, they didn't jump. And so on the other end, they're going to get hit.
Usually it doesn't happen in that case because like they use it's not like it's a machine learning thing, but like the game's predicting what that player is going to do, so it's almost always correct. And if it's not, then it's going to shift to the corrected thing that would have happened, and you can do it in such a way that if both players have a good connection to one another, your inputs are felt instantly. Like you see your move going in as soon as you press the button, rather than having to play with like a 5 millisecond delay or whatever.
Okay, it's just I'm wondering, like, in those instances where there's a conflict, how do they choose like which player gets priority? Because those small things can sometimes like lead a game, especially a fast-paced game like a fighting game.
So there's essentially there's probably a fringe case where both sides of the game get it wrong, but generally it's the game is looking at like assuming what player A does and what player B does on each side of the game, and usually one side's going to be the correct side of it because it's in the middle of an attack. So usually like it might be like somebody's getting hit, therefore there's like a not a buffer frame, that's not the right word, but like there's someone's hit stunned, so you can account for the hit stun when you try and fix it or whatever it might be. I'm not super versed in it, so I'm butchering it pretty badly, but it's predicting it well enough that it shouldn't be an issue. And a lot of them, I think nowadays, are trying to use like AI learning to kind of like figure out the best way that any player would act in any given situation and act on that assumption, because there's only like, there's no more than like 20 inputs you can really do at any given point.
4, 3, 2, go.
Let alone per frame.
It sounds complicated. These people should just get better at the game. Anyway, I finally beat that stage after 8 minutes.
That's fair. We have $5 from Mick Yeager, who says, MykonosFan.
Hey.
He's our KonosFan now.
I'm a man of the people. Oh God, what is this? Yeah, thank you. Hi. Oh,
And Atomic Teal put it pretty well here. If player 2 presses a punch button, you and player 2 should see the punch come out on both screens. If your screen didn't see that, then it's going to roll back because they did put that input in.
okay. Here's my main question. When it rolls back, does the game pause on both ends to clearly show that it's rolling back? Or do you just see a weird hitch and go, oh, I guess that rolled back?
Usually it's so, like, rollback makes it so that there's only like a very short few milliseconds of delay instead of like a lot more. So usually by the time the game catches it and sends it out to both players, you're not really going to notice it.
Okay, I see.
Functionally.
I figured it had to be better than what I was thinking because I was like, why would people want that otherwise?
Yeah, no, it's very optimized at this point. So it's very hard to have a game fuck it up, essentially.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's rollback netcode. Glad you're here from Monkey Ball.
Obviously, monkey target would be better if they put in rollback netcode.
Yeah, hashtag Monkey Ball rollback.
Hey man, when they make the live service Monkey Ball hero shooter game, this stuff's going to start to matter.
But yeah, rollback's not perfect, but it's a lot better than the alternative.
I like the
huge
McDonald
delay.
toys where you roll the toy back and it shoots forward.
But not the LCD game.
Not the LCD
Those are
game.
also cool.
Hi, Stefan.
Yeah, I was doing setup for VP, so I have all that set up whenever you guys want.
Well, I don't know how much longer Chris wants to go, but I'm okay.
I'm basically good. I don't remember Party Animals having a ton to do, so I guess that's more up to you.
Yeah, that's what I feel like we can handle like in an hour, like a little bit over an hour. So it's like, yeah, it's up to you. Like you're at this point, like if you want to go for another 10 more minutes, then that's cool.
Let's can do that. That sounds good.
Yeah.
We're having a good time, probably.
Yeah, how many levels do you get? You're in World 7 right now. Is that the final world?
No.
Oh wait, there's World 8. Yeah.
No.
Like, wait a minute.
He's not going to finish it, but he'll get further and save his pride. In the meantime, we do have 10 more minutes of stream left, give or take. So if you wanted to ask Mr. MykonosFan, Mr. Ted, Mr. ExandShadow, or Mr. Keith John Stack any questions, now's the time to donate to the Diabetes Research Institute and do just that.
We have the closest thing to the voice of God of Super Monkey Ball we will ever get, so take advantage of that with what you can. Just don't ask anything bad, please. Oh, God.
Oh.
Someone mentioned that this would be enhanced a lot with Kiryu Scream as I keep dying, and I agree. I think there are mods on the Steam version to input that kind of stuff, and it does make me want to actually get the PC version and stick with that. Because I need to hear Kiryu yell more in my life anyway. Oh, what the hell is this?
Oh, this level gives me nightmares just of like how fast it goes. Now if you're in the wrong spot, you just go flying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of modding the PC version, it's really, really easy to mod the DLC outfits because the textures are just pings, so you could or like JPEG or something, so you could just like open them up. And
so we don't want to spend the $5.
Well, no. You need to like get the DLC, but then once you have it, their textures are just like images, so you can like fool around with them.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were like, if you don't want to buy it, you can just download it.
No,
and I was
no,
like,
no.
oh, nefarious.
Yeah. So if you wanted to make Perfect Cell instead of play Monkey Ball, now's your chance if you buy the DLC.
Oh, he's got that soda.
Got a Glock in my Rari. 17 shots.
Oh, I'm so glad that's making a resurgence. It's so stupid.
Thank you,
Cell
Multiverses.
Cell will never be balling.
Oh.
But now, give Super Monkey Ball money so they can keep making good Super Monkey Ball things. If you don't, I'll just look at you and go, I get it.
If you don't, they'll make Banana Blitz again.
Banana Blitz HD2.
And then they'll say, well, if you want another Monkey Ball game, you got to buy it. Otherwise, it just won't happen.
Well, I mean, what happened to the last Sega product that had Mania in the title?
It went really well, and then nothing happened for 5 years.
Super Monkey Ball Frontiers, let's go.
Okay, hang on. Well, that producer did come out and say he wanted to make like a more open Monkey Ball game, didn't he? So maybe, maybe you're onto something there.
Adventure is kind of the closest to that.
Yeah.
I mean, these games are already about like rails floating in the sky, right?
You know what? Yeah, they kind of are,
Oh.
aren't they? I'm basically playing Frontiers already.
Yeah.
We're
like,
so
isn't-
anxious right now watching this gameplay. It's like, oh god.
Isn't Sonic Origin like basically like what the team from Mania was doing, or am I like misremembering everything about life?
The team from Mania largely is working on their own 3D platformery kind of thing, but one of the guys who was on that and helped on the Sonic 1 and 2 mobile versions about a decade ago, he got some other people in the community contracted to work on the Sonic 3 and Knuckles portion of Sonic Origins. And then I think for Sonic 1, 2, and CD, they just kind of slapped the existing versions they'd made into the Hedgehog engine too, because that's what you do. It's a weird thing. Like, the more you dig into what went into Origins, the more you're like, why did... Oh, weird.
So they like completely remade the game, basically.
Yeah, it's like a new engine, technically new physics that are a little different kind of stuff, widescreen additions, stuff like that.
Oh no. People in chat are asking me about whether Watto did Pokemon's theme at some point. I think I did last year, right?
Maybe. I wonder
know,
if
so-
I wonder if someone donated for you to do it again. Oh no.
Oh man. My throat won't like that. Okay, so someone's remembering me doing that last year. So okay, cool. I'm not crazy then.
That might have been what birthed Sebulbasaur,
No,
which
you know
lives
what?
rent free in my head.
That might have been it. That is my off the top of my head opus probably. That's one that comes back to mind for me, and I'm like, man, I thought of that on the fly. I'm proud of myself.
So in the Monkey Baseball, instead of saying foul, they say foul, and I just think that's funny.
Fowl?
Foul, like that.
Oh whoa?
Oh yes, foul. Foul.
Woo-woo.
This game is really mean. Ow.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
I beat it a lot faster than you did, but it's pretty hard.
Ped.
Yes. Oh, you're not gonna ask me anything? Okay.
No, I said bounce pad. Sorry.
Oh, why'd you say bounce pad?
Chris did his voice of Roger Craig Smith being Apex Legends character.
Oh, okay.
Which is just a Sonic voice, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Speaking of Kevin, Yo Flex?
Yo, Flex.
I was gonna jokingly pull out to my PS5 home menu, but I think I have a game I can't show yet.
God. So Timpafin mentioned that they donated yesterday to do the Watto Pokemon theme again. I know, Chris, you posted the stuff that I was not there for Watto.
I posted a thing I saw while I was looking in chat, but I didn't go and comb through for a thing.
Okay, let me
If there was a thing, no one told me, and no one told you, I guess. More specifically.
All right, well, I guess this is how we're gonna end.
Keith, if you need a pee break, now's the time.
Yeah. You're about to hear some cursed shit.
Do you have it like written down
I'm excited.
somewhere?
I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up to the chorus because I think that's as far as I'm gonna be able to go for now because I'm gonna have to do Watto later. So I'll do that. Okay.
Watto want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is Watto's real test. To train them is his cause. I will travel across Tatooine, searching far and wide. Teach Pokemon to Tatooine the power that's inside. Pokemon, got to catch them all. It's you and Watto. I know it's my destiny, Pokemon. Oh, your Watto best friend in a world we must defend.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. That's hurting. You're welcome.
You know when someone's impression just becomes the character for you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's that was something I think that happened in Saturday Night Live, where they described that. I forget what president it was, but their impression became a parody of their impression by the end of that president's term. I think it was George H. Bush.
yeah.
I know Dana Carvey had a good Bill Clinton, but he had dogs. He was breastfeeding dogs for it.
Yeah, that was
Wait,
the thing.
what? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Backtrack.
So,
Explain.
okay. So the Dana Carvey show is one of the biggest train wrecks in television history. It was Dana Carvey. It was a bunch of like names you know now. So Dana Carvey, Stephen Colbert, Steve Carell, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of their first roles besides Dana Carvey, because obviously Dana Carvey is already famous for this. Their first episode took place after the season premiere of the Tim Allen show, Home Improvement. That's the one. And so they had like a 15 million person audience coming in. And so the first skit they went with was Bill Clinton breastfeeding dogs. And so it was Bill Clinton with a bunch of fake teats breastfeeding fake dogs as he's talking about Bill Clinton things. Apparently, when they watched like the minute by minute reports, they went from 15 million viewers to 200,000 in the first minute. And immediately he was like, well, we're canceled. And so that happened. My favorite part about that show is that every episode up to a point was named after Pepsi products. They were sponsored by Pepsi the whole time. So there was there's a very funny one that they showed during the documentary about this show and how much of a train wreck it was. That it was a really sad episode of Home Improvement where like the kid's very sad, like he's got some medical problem, and Tim Allen's like, it's okay, we're gonna take care of you, and like they're both crying, and it's a commercial, so it's like a very special episode of a Home Improvement followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey show. And it's just so good.
Well, that's just funny no matter who you are.
I remember hearing that story. Yeah, it's super funny.
That's the vibe I feel sometimes, like when we follow up a stream from someone else and we're just like, yeah, what if Shaggy, I don't know, and Scooby had peanut butter? And it's like everyone just leaves.
Like, Scoob, the viewer count's going down.
Has the viewer count actually gone down whenever that happens? Because I swear I feel like it actually goes up. So
We'll make it happen one day. I think probably the last donation for this stream, because we're going to wrap it up in just a sec here, is $10 from True Blue 5, who says, hey guys, glad you're doing this again. Can you put this money onto Banjo-Tooie since it's not on the Tiltify? Good news, you don't have to put it towards Banjo-Tooie. We already unlocked Banjo-Tooie. But I will tell Ted right now that you're supporting him. Ted, True Blue 5 is supporting Banjo-Tooie.
Thank you, but why?
yeah, to remind you, it's not a bid war. It's Ted's playing Banjo-Tooie and Steven is playing Banjo-Kazooie, and they're racing each other in those both games.
Don't worry, Chris. Steven's gonna slam me as hard as I slammed you, or more so.
I wish I had that.
Well, slam?
You gotta do the pterodactyls land skip.
Why can't I have what you two have? Okay, are we good to call this?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got our other stuff ready to go. So
Oh, there's Sega arguing in chat. I like this. Okay, so we're gonna hand it over to Stefan and Olivia, right?
Yes, hi.
Oh, hi, you're
Right
here.
Oh, surprise.
Hello, Olivia.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Do you want to say before we go, thank you, Keith, for joining us.
Thank you,
Of course.
Keith.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. It was good chatting with you and learning a little more about the Monkey Ball comic panels. I don't know what you call those, but the little comics.
Yeah, that works.
I'm sorry you had to listen to Watto Pokemon theme to cap off.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was a pleasure. I don't know why they let that guy grade games.
Okay, I put a link to your Twitter in chat so people can keep up with your very good constant Twitter presence.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks everyone for donating. Ted, congratulations on the race.
Love you.
We'll settle this some other way somehow. I think we'll figure that out. I'm not happy. But thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for donating. Thanks for sharing the stream and spreading it everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna stop this and let Stefan get ready. Thanks guys. Bye. Oh wait, the bumper. Ah.
Parody versus Room.